Good afternoon, everyone. Never the sort of video I would want to be making as a Newcastle United fan, but let's face it, Alexander Isak, we are always at some point in this transfer window going to have the Isak conversation. 3 years left in his contract. He currently has not signed a new deal, which will keep him at Newcastle for longer. 3 years left in his deal, and it's starting to become to that point now where one of the world's most in-demand strikers, one of the world's most highest valued strikers, and is currently one of the world's best strikers. You have to look at the goals and you have to look at the contributions Isak has done in the Premier League, and especially for the player he is, in my opinion, there was not a pound on this planet that could give you what Isak can do. I think he is an irreplaceable striker. In Newcastle, 100 million, 200 million, 300 million, it does not matter how much money he would go for one day. I don't think you could replace him because I think he's that unique. I think he's that talented, and I don't think there is a price that could match what Isak offered at Newcastle and what he will continue to offer at Newcastle. I want to make that message clear now. I don't think he'll leave in the summer transfer window, and I'll explain why to Liverpool fans shortly. But it's been a bit of a weird one on social media because you start off here, there's been one report from Ben Jacobs. I mean, let's be honest, we all look at this report now, think nothing about it. I don't think anything about this at all. Ben Jacobs, not the most credible source out there, not someone that I would go to for transfer leagues, and not someone where I would get off my seat and go, oh no. Like, I look at this report now and I just think nothing about it. But what's been real surprising and strange from our Newcastle journalists is that, well, Luke Edwards then replied to it and went, I warned you. And obviously Luke Edwards has been saying at the start of the window, Isak things are going to happen at some point. Be warned, this is going to drag out all summer long. And then even Lee Ryder over at the Chronicle, I mean, look at Lee Ryder's message here. He went into a lot of detail about how even Darren Eales has taught the journalists that every player at Newcastle has a price. And he's went into loads of detail about how Newcastle could sell Isak in this window. So not only has the journalists at Newcastle not denied the Isak to Liverpool links, if anything, they've actually added more to it because I don't think the Ben Jacobs link is anything really. And then Newcastle journalists have then added more fuel into the fire and have made something out. Of course, all the Liverpool pages and all the Liverpool fan channels and all the Liverpool fans are now, of course, thinking they're going to get Isak this summer now. I look at the Liverpool side of things and the fans themselves at Liverpool, 100 million, 110, 120. Those are all regions where that is how much Liverpool fans think Isak will cost to bring in. That's how much they think Newcastle will say, yes, 100 million, 110, we will let you buy Isak. That is not the case at all. Let's make this point nice and obvious for the Liverpool fans watching this video. Isak has a price tag of £150 million at Newcastle. When I mean price tag, I don't even think £150 million would be accepted. I actually think £150 million would be a conversation starter. That's how serious I think Newcastle would be to keep Isak in this window. I reckon 170 to 180 legitimately is what it would cost to bring Isak in. I reckon that's how much money Newcastle would then fold and go, well, okay, we'll potentially accept this. And that's by far the most expensive striker in football history. So when you look at it that way, especially a team as well that's just signed words, £120 million already, there is no way Liverpool are putting more than £150 million down for Isak. And that's how much I think it will cost to bring him in. So I just don't see the transfer happening this summer. Now, when I say this summer, Isak in interviews has always stated, I want to play Champions League football. Newcastle has Champions League football, so we straight up have what the guy wants. He's very vocal, a very ambitious player, wants to compete for trophies and wants to play in the Champions League every season. Newcastle have the things he wants, so there's no way he's going to then decide this summer is the one where he decides to walk away and to join someone else. Now, Liverpool obviously won the league title. Liverpool, of course, looking to bring a striker in. I don't think Isak's even a good value striker to bring in their point of view. Now, when you talk about strikers Newcastle could have signed, we were close a few years ago to sign Ekitike. Look how good he has been in French football. I reckon they could sign Ekitike for around half the price, and for what he could potentially offer at Liverpool, it's just light and day the difference. There was no way in their point of view they're going to smash £150 million on a guy like Isak where they can sign Ekitike, for example, for like £80 million. Like, I think that is such a better off deal for them, and that is a deal that for them long term. It's probably a better sign as well. Isak's having his best years at Newcastle now. In a couple of years' time, he's just probably not going to be the £150 million value player. That being said, though, I will warn us now. Next summer is the one where we could have some issues. Now, of course, as long as we have Champions League football, we'll be fine. But if Newcastle did not qualify for Champions League football, and let's say last game of the season, of course, we lost to Everton. Let's say Aston Villa did the job and won at Old Trafford, which then kicked us out of Champions League football. Even now, I reckon we could be in some trouble. I reckon we would have been in some trouble if we did not have Champions League football. But we do, so calm it. No need to stress, no need to get upset, and no need to get angry, because I just don't see him leaving in this window. Liverpool definitely have something to it, though, if they stick by it for at least another year, because I think next year they've got a real chance of doing it. But for now, I don't think it's happening. Now, I've looked at TalkSport this morning, and I mean, I'm not even going to give TalkSport the time of day, to be honest, with my rant, but what Newcastle fan is going on that show and telling TalkSport that we need to sell Isak? There is surely no one in our fan base that is ringing TalkSport up on their own accord and just saying Isak needs to go, you need to sell him this summer. Moron, utter stupidity. I'm willing to bet it will be a Sunderland fan on the wind up, it will be someone either doing a prank, or it'll be TalkSport telling someone and pretending to be a Newcastle fan for the day. There you are, be a Newcastle fan for the day, come on our show, we'll give you a couple £100. It'll probably be something like that, because no Newcastle fan is ever going to say that we want to sell Isak this summer. No chance, absolutely no chance. That's not a real Newcastle fan. And if you are a real Newcastle fan and you're watching this video, you are a moron. Now, back to this. Sorry, I didn't mean to go on a rant there, but yeah, there's no way Newcastle fans want to sell Isak. No way Eddie Howe wants to sell Isak. No way that our club or our team wants to sell him. And I think he is unsellable. I'll say it again. Unless there was 170, 180 million pounds, which I don't think any team in world football can afford. I just don't see it happening. I don't think he'll leave in this window. And I don't think Liverpool will sign him in this window. And that's my honest take. Yes, I'm a Newcastle fan. You might think I'm being biased or being, of course, opinionated towards Newcastle, but from the Isak stuff, it's just not happening. I'll be that simple now. It's just not happening unless you put a ridiculous amount of money down, and that's the only take you can look at from this video. But in terms of other news, there has been a leaked third kit that's now been revealed. I mean, not as bad as your away kit when I look at it. Again, quite heavily themed one of our retro kits, and when I look at this one, I kind of like the badge, to be honest. Obviously, the badge is retro. They've got the shield that kind of goes around the outside. I think the collar as well looks quite good. I reckon if I see this one in person, I will probably like it a bit more, especially comparing it to the green shirt, because I hate the green shirt. That one's alright. I don't think that one's actually that bad, but nothing is beating this shirt. The home shirt here, by far the best one we've got, in my opinion. Nothing is going to change that. But what do you guys think about that? Do you think that's a decent kit? I don't think it's half bad. I think that one's alright. And finally, anyone that likes their drinking in Newcastle, 5 more years for the stack. It has been extended to 2031 because of adding an extra year onto the deal. So yeah, basically they've extended their lease. So they had it originally for, I think it was 2029, and extended for an extra couple of years. So if anyone likes the stack, anyone likes the beer, it's going to be staying for a long time. So enjoy it. And of course, make sure you remember, any pints or any drinks bought inside that stack go back into Newcastle United. So I've got an idea now, to be honest. Listen, if everyone watching this video, if we all just go to the stack, and let's just say Newcastle have, I don't know, 8 million fans in the world. If every single fan goes to the stack and buys 1 pint, listen, that's tens of millions of pounds that are going back into this football club. So I think we need to organise something where we get millions of Newcastle fans just to go into this stack and just to get this transfer window rolling and get some signings in. That was a joke, by the way. I don't want to encourage a heavy drinking, but of course, heavy drinking in the stack does go back into the football club. So yeah, lads, let's make sure we start drinking a bit more, because I want to get some players in. But going away from this video, the exact conversation, we're always going to have it at some point. I'm not concerned this window. If we didn't have Champions League football, I would be concerned, but we have it. So we have exactly what the player wants, and his point of view, his agent, of course, are always going to push for a big deal. They're always going to push for more money at Newcastle. They're always going to push to try and get the best incentivised deal for their client, in this case Isak. But Not this window. I don't see it happening this window. 12 months' time, we'll be having a different conversation if Newcastle does not have a good season. Let's make sure we go out there, bring those players in so Newcastle does have that good season. And then again next summer, we can sit here and have the same conversation where I'll be convinced and happy to say that Isak's not going anywhere. But 2 years, oh sorry, I didn't mean to swear. 2 years left in the contract. I think then we'll be having that problem. But yeah, for now, just we're fine. Don't worry about it. My final message being, Liverpool, you want them, pay up. Pay up everything you've got, because that's what's going to take to bring Isak in.